In this video I share 90 things you need to prepare before you're moving abroad, because in 2 weeks I'm moving back to Thailand.
Hey, my name is Matilda and this is my boyfriend Dam. We are living in Hua Hin Thailand together with Dam's family. And on this channel we share our simple daily life here in Hua Hin and travels around Thailand. And also sometimes abroad. So hit the subscribe button and join our adventures in Thailand.
So I'm gonna share with you the 90 things I think you should prepare before you're moving abroad. But just a quick backstory is that I moved to Thailand in 2017, but I didn't move that to stay there forever. But hopefully this time I move more permanently, and it was a lot of more things to prepare, so that's what I'm gonna share with you in this video. So let's start with the first thing, and that is a passport. So I made a new passport, so it gotta be valid as long as possible, so I don't need to do a new passport in Thailand anytime soon. And then you might want to order a new bank card, so you don't have to send that through post through the half of the world in the near future. So the next thing is, if you have a driving license, look up if it's valid for a long time or not, because I know at least in Sweden, if you're not a permanent resident here anymore, it's harder to make a new driving license, so look up if you have to make a new driving license or not. And that leads us on to the next thing, which is how you're gonna take yourself around in the country you're moving to. Do you need to make an international driving license, or do you eventually need to make a driving license in the country you're moving to, or do you have like any other transportation where you're gonna take yourself around? But like, look up if you need to order an international driving license before you leave. So the next point is cancel your subscriptions, whatever subscriptions you might have. I cancel my phone plan, so it's end the day after I leave, so I don't need to pay anything extra when I'm not here and cannot use it anymore. And for the next point, we need to change location. Just 1 second.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights.
So now we arrived, and let's go inside and have a chat. So it's 6:30 in the morning and I just arrived to my work. I'm also gonna show you around, but first we're gonna talk about this point, which you might already guess is money. So before you move abroad, you need to save up money. And of course you need money for the flight, the visa and insurance, but you also need money for, it also depends on what you're gonna do in the country you move to. You're gonna work, you're gonna study, you're gonna move abroad to maybe to Muay Thai in Thailand, or maybe you're gonna start your own online business. It depends on how much money you need, but you need money for accommodation. You also need money for food. Maybe you want to join a gym, for have a phone plan. Maybe you need to rent or buy a car or a motorbike, and also you need some backup money. Like, anything can happen. Maybe you lose your job, maybe your car broke down or your computer, or maybe you have an accident, hopefully not, or something happened with your family back home in your home country and you need to fly out of the country. So it's always good to have some backup money when you're moving abroad. This is where I have been working for 8 months, and there's a lot of sound in this building, so I apologize for that. But I've been in Sweden to study for 1 year, and I have been working for 1 year and 8 of the months I've been working here. So I'm gonna show you around. It's a training center and an indoor swimming pool. So I have been doing some different things here. I have been here in their reception, and I have also been inside here and being a lifeguard. And in this room I had group training classes. I've been having functional training, so not the bicycles, but the things over there. And here in the gym I had some gym instructions. But now it's only 4 days left for me to work here, and I'm so grateful for my colleagues that I have here. They have been the best, and they really made my time in Sweden better for sure. One more thing when it comes to save up money, is not always how much you earn, it's how much you can save. So think about what cost you can get out of your life, maybe accommodation. When I've been in Sweden and traveling for this for the past 10 years, when I come back to Sweden, sometimes I have shared apartments, sometimes I just rented a room, and sometimes I have stayed with my family. So think of how you can cut down your accommodation costs. And also the food. I'm a health coach and personal trainer, so I really want to eat good food, but maybe try to plan your food so that you don't waste any food and throw it away, and make your own food and don't go outside and eat. And also think about the gas. It's really expensive right now. Maybe you can go with a bicycle instead of taking the car, or maybe you don't need a car at all actually, and then you cut out the cost of insurance for the car, etc. as well. So think about all the different things like you can cut down, and all the small things add up in the long run if you save it for months. So now it's time for me to start to work, and I see you back home in 8 hours. So I'm back home again, and the next point is health checkups, because we all know that health is really wealth, but it's up to you what kind of health checkups you think you need to do. I went to the dentist. I also went to 2 different osteopaths when I was here in Sweden to get help with my bodies and injuries. I also went to a doctor which do kinesiology, I think that's the name in English, to get help with mineral and vitamins, things I'm missing in my body, and I really got back my energy level after being there. But it's up to you what kind of health check you think you need, and make sure you book them in time so you have time to do it before you go. And that leads us on to the next point, which is insurance. We all heard about these horror stories where people don't have insurance and they have to raise money to get back home and to get like proper care when they are abroad. So make sure to have insurance when you move abroad. So the next things to think about is if you need to make a visa, and if you need to make a visa, what kind of visa you need to make, and it depends on what you're gonna do in the country you move to. But yeah, if you need to make a visa, do it in time. Now we start to get to the more funny parts, and that is book your flight ticket, but also remember how would you take yourself from your home now to the airport, and also when you come to your new country, how would you take yourself from the airport to the place where you're gonna stay. So the next point is to have a little bit on cash on you when you travel there, because if you're gonna take out money when you come to the new country and the ATM machine swallow your card, that can happen. You can at least take yourself from the airport to the accommodation. The next thing is to fix somewhere to live, right? And it depends on what country you're gonna move to and why you're moving, but either you fix it before you leave, or you just book a hotel and then you're going around when you get there to different areas and check the vibe and where you want to live, and then you fix the accommodation when you arrive in the new country. But it depends on where you're moving. And the next point is a tip, and that is to check on Facebook if there is any expat community in the country or the city you're moving to, because there you can get a lot of information and tips on accommodations, where to stay, and a lot of other things. So check on Facebook and become a member of that group. The next thing is packing. Here you need to think about if there is something special you want with you from your home country that maybe the new country don't have. For me, example, I want my facial because they don't have my facial product over in Thailand, and I also want sport bras because I know it's hard to find there. Eventually you probably need to find like new products in the new country you're moving to, but it's good to have a start so you don't have to go and look for those things the first thing you do. So my next tip doesn't apply to everybody, but check it up if you need to have a travel adapter. Of course you can buy it in the new country, but after a long flight you probably just want to go to your accommodation and just charge your things without having to going around everywhere and looking for an adapter. Another big thing to think about is what you're gonna do with all your stuff. You're gonna store them somewhere or you're gonna sell them. I have had things in my parents' house stored for over 10 years, and this time I've been going through my closet, and I've also been going through all my stuff that I've stored here in the parents' basement and throwing away a lot of things and giving away a lot of things. So think about how you're gonna do, what you're gonna do with all your stuff. So my third last point is culture and language. It can be fun to know some basic lines in the country you're moving to, maybe to say hello and thank you, and also to do some research about the culture. It can be something that you should do or maybe should definitely not do because it can be very rude, so just check up some basic things before you leave. So the second last thing on my list is to spend time with family and friends, because you're moving abroad, maybe you're not gonna see them in a very long time, so yeah, just spend some time with your family and friends before you're going. So my last point is mindset. You need to have the right mindset. Everything is not always going to be easy, and you're going to have problems, and maybe it's going to be a language barrier, so it's going to be hard to communicate, and yeah, a lot of things can happen if things doesn't work the way you are used to, but everything is probably going to be just fine. Just take it easy, learn as you go, and have a lot of fun. So that was my 90 things to do before you moving abroad. If you have a question or think I forgot something, please leave a comment down below and let us all know. And if you want to see videos from Thailand, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I see you in the next week's video. So we are now ready to go and pick up the rest of the family.